Oh, now I'm going to be upgrading my Jag XJ X351 steering wheel to a heated steering wheel. You can tell this is a replacement steering wheel, heated, because it has the heating button there. And also, you can tell it's heated steering wheel because it's got the metal rings on the back there. And those are there so the little module on the squib can make contact with that and give the heater its power. Now, I've ordered off the internet, well, here's the squib. This is what's called the squib with the indicator stalks, etc. I got this one off the XJ forum on Facebook when the guy said he's got a heated module. At the time I hadn't done my homework, and the only bit you actually need is a bit that goes here, but this one that I got sent is just a blank dummy. So lesson learned there, make sure you get a photo of what you need. What you actually need, this is my second squib, is this module here, and you can see the pins there. That's what makes contact with the back there. Now, you don't have to buy the whole squib. This comes off. I think it just pinches out. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. So there's a little focus. Can't focus, I'll zoom. That little tab there. So I should be able to squeeze that tab. Just slide straight out. So this is the part you only need for doing this upgrade, as well as obviously the steering wheel. So you don't have to buy the whole squib, but they generally come with these attached. Now, some people are selling these individually, and I saw one for about 90 quid. Well, the whole squib with this cost me £60. So have a look at the photos, make sure it's got the module with these pins on it, and then you might get yourself a bit of a deal. Last thing I've done, we've got to take the airbag off. I've rotated the steering wheel sort of 90 degrees to the left, and that's so I can get access to the release catches on the back. On the back of my replacement steering wheel, there we need to release the airbag, so I put in a flat screwdriver into the triangular slot, and one that you can rotate around in that slot. So it's got to be the right size, and we're going to be limited. Luckily this is quite a short screwdriver. I can get in with the in behind the dash, as it were, the screen and the steering wheel. Some people have bent old screwdrivers to be able to do this. There is a removal tool, a special removal tool by Jaguar, which is about £40 or £50. Yeah, do you want to buy one of those and instead of using a flathead? Let's see how we go. So we need to stick it into the triangular one. Pop it in.
Many months later.
So it turned out that my screwdrivers weren't quite the right width. They kind of taper in the middle. I would suggest maybe trying your screwdrivers. If not, then I bought this airbag removal tool, and it actually had the sort of right flat head to be able to get it open. So this was the hardest part I found, is getting the actual airbox off. Now I've got my tool here. I bought this off eBay. So little selection of tools for removing airbags, because I didn't have screwdrivers that would fit, and you can't get hold of the Jag tools. So I'll show you quickly. I have loosened the airbag off, so you're not going to hear the click. So first off, I'm going to turn the steering wheel to the right, and you'll see that triangular shaped slot there. You put a flat blade in and then rotate it that sort of angle, and that undoes the clip. So I will demonstrate it, or try and demonstrate it. So we're going in flat like that, and it goes all the way in, and then you turn it and you'll hear a click. I would suggest pulling on the airbag a little bit. Then once you've done that, again, you might want to put a bit of cloth. You might want to put a cloth down so you don't scratch this up. That's from my previous attempts. And then you rotate round the other way, so you've got the other triangle, and same situation again. Put it in flat. And then rotate that way, and that will pop it off. Now I've already popped it off. So I've now got it loose. The next thing you want to do is get the steering wheel straight, because we're going to have to disconnect the power in a minute. So you can see I've got this loose now. So we'll get it straight, and I'm going to disconnect the battery now for an hour, and then we'll take the airbag out. So next step, I'm going to disconnect the battery there. I'm also going to put a towel just to stop the boot lid from coming down, because obviously if that closes down and your battery's in there, you can't reconnect. And the only way of opening the car then is opening the bonnet and put a jump pack on, and using the jump pack to do the central locking, not to start the car. So it's been about 40 minutes now, so it should be plenty. Take that out, and along the top here, there's that cable there to undo first, and then after that, it's very difficult to see. I think those yellow things will be coming off next, but let's get this white one off first, and we'll have a bit more play. So to get these out, they've got these little squeeze tabs on the side like that. So you squeeze them and pull them up. I'll try and do it one-handed. Like that. And out. So this is what we got left. We'll be undoing that nut in a minute, but I've got to undo that tab there. Once we've undone that tab, then we'll undo the nut. And this is the socket size I'm using, 21mm, to get the nut off. Right, so what I've noticed, on the steering wheel you can see these two notches below. I'll see if I can point to it here and here. What I'm going to do is you can see I've made a mark there. I'm just going to line that up and make a mark on that centre bit as well. I'm not sure if that's necessary or not, but I'm just going to do it just so I know, make sure that I'm in line as centre as possible when I put the new one on. So here's our module that will touch the electrical elements on the back of the steering wheel. So there you go. I'll just give them a slight rough with the sandpaper. Just get rid of any possible corrosion on there. Right, now this is our new steering wheel. Obviously second hand, and these are the contacts that will be touching. And as you can see, there's grease on there. That's dielectric grease, so transmit the grease. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that off, and I'm going to apply some new grease that I got off eBay. So I'm going to wipe the excess off with just a bit of a kitchen roll at the moment. This won't get it all off, but it'll get the worst of it. As you can see, pretty dark, dirty and mucky. So I'm going to go through each runner, get the old grease out, and then we'll put some new dielectric grease in its place. So this is the actual grease I got. Sorry, it's from Amazon, not eBay. So that's what I'm going to use. I've cleaned this off and given it a little go with IPA as well, and dry it. And let's get some grease back on there. So there you go, I've put some dielectric grease around there. I haven't gone too crazy with it, but just about what I wiped off really. So under here we've got two holes, and I've taken one out. I've got another Torx to go there. So I took those two Torx out, and that drops down. You don't have, we're not taking this out. We should be able to remove this dummy plate and put the other one in without removing anything else. So this is actually a dummy, but it's still got the correct connector that we need for the heated seats. Heated steering wheel. So it's still got the electrical connector, so we just slide this out and put a new one in, and that's it. So I'm going to disconnect that and slide this out, and I'll show you how to slide it out in a moment. So I've just moved this down. I've got it hanging from a cable, never do that. just under here on this grey connector, there's a little push down latch. I can see it on the screen, there it is. So we're going to push that down, slide it out. Now this, then, I think there was a clip. There's a little tiny black clip there. I'll push that in and that slides out. And that is our dummy plastic pretend sensor. So let's get the new one in, which I've got on the back seat with my steering wheel. So here's the new one. So this should slot straight back in there, which it is. And then we'll plug the cable. Oopsie, make sure it's clipped in. So I'll just do that again because I dropped it and I hadn't clipped it in properly. So I'm going to put the connection in on the back here. Let's get the orientation right. So we're going to go that way, clip, and that slides in there. There we go, there's a nice healthier click, so that is in now. We can start putting all this back together. So we're back in business. Plastic's all done up. We've got our contacts ready for the steering wheel. Let's get the steering wheel on. So making sure that little arrow is pointing up and your wheels are pointing forward. I've fed these through the little bottom square there. I haven't connected everything yet, but I'm going to keep these tight so that little spindle thing doesn't spittle around. And I shall line it up, assuming it's got those same little marks there. So hopefully I should be able to line them up with the marks I've made. Let's see. So I'm not sure if you can see, but it looks like it's lined up to me. The steering wheel certainly feels centered now. So we'll see how it goes, but it just slides on, no problem at all. Right, so I've connected that one there and threaded it into the little valley there that it's got. So that's all tucked in. Nut at the moment is just on there. I'm going to do that up hand tight for the moment. The correct settings, or the torque for this, is 65 Newton meters, which is 48 foot-pound of torque. So I'm just going to finger tight that. I'm going to get the torque wrench and set it to those settings. So I've torqued that up. Just going to put the longer airbag cables on first. Note, they are colour coded. It's grey or white and black, and they are colour coded there. I suggest not getting those mixed up. I don't know if you can get them mixed up, but just bear that in mind when you're fitting it. So I'm going to pop these back in, get that on, and then test the steering wheel. So they are back on in the correct colour coded area. I've plugged in the white one on the top there. As I'm feeding it in, I just made sure that sort of sleeve, that black sleeve, I can't point to it, this black sleeve here, sort of does slide up and down, so make sure it's pushed through a bit so the actual wires aren't touching the metal there, and this should push and clip back into place. Right, we are back on. It's time to put the battery on, make sure we've got no errors, and then test the actual heating, make sure that works. Well, we're up and running. Got a park brake requires calibration, apply foot brake and park brake, so I'll do that. Whilst I do that, I'm going to, lights up, that's a good sign, and see if that warms up. So I don't know if I'll record this or not, like, why not? So it says park brake requires calibration, apply foot brake and park brake. Yep, is that it? I guess so. Nice and easy. So is this getting warmer? Let's have a look. Still waiting. Also, quickly, before I go on, to show that all the buttons are working as well. So, oops, that was the volume, is it? There we go. So that's working. The mode button, that changes.
Ask anybody
on there. So that's all working. That's all working, and horn works. So everything seems to be functioning. Happy days. And we have a hot steering wheel. Excellent. My wife's going to be very happy about that in the winter months. It's down here, it's what? Yeah, that's warm there. That's warm there. Still hot. So yeah, it seems to be getting hot all the way around. It seems to be hot at the top, which is a fine by me. But yes, there we go. That is a how-to on to replace a steering wheel with a heated one.